going to result in a few close losses more than they had last year, but clearly a playoff team. I would still probably say that the Packers go something like 12-4, 11-5, and win the division, but the Vikings will be in the conversation when we get to the playoffs.
Wow. Coller picks the Packers to win the North. You heard it here first. Matt, thanks for coming on. You can follow Matthew Coller at Matthew Coller. You can read his articles at 1500ESPN.com. Awesome writer. Thanks again, Matt, for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Now, I want to do my 2018 NFL predictions before we really start this season. I know Thursday there was a game, but I just want to give you guys my NFL predictions. I'll break down everything for you. So let's begin with the Coach of the Year. I gave this a lot of thought, and I looked around teams, and I don't want to go with the mainstream, the Saints, the Vikings, the Patriots, the Rams. I looked at a team that I really like this year. I love the head coach. He's an unbelievable regular season coach, and that's Andy Reid for the Kansas City Chiefs, because you got rid of Alex Smith. You're bringing in Pat Mahomes, and that will spice things up, because Alex Smith, we know, really good regular season quarterback, can't seem to get it done in the playoffs, but Kansas City has a lot of pieces offensively. Kareem Hunt coming off a outstanding rookie year. Andy Reid kind of sort of forgot about him running the ball. That's pretty much where the struggles began, when they stopped giving Hunt more carries. You have Kareem Hunt coming back. You still have Travis Kelce, their tight end, who's one of the best tight ends in the league. You also have Tyreek Hill, speedster, unbelievable playmaker, can catch that. He's almost like a Percy Harvin to me, but I think with better route running skills than Percy. He can catch bubble screens. He can, they can do jet sweeps to him. You can go deep with Tyreek Hill, so he's a huge wild card. And then you have Sammy Watkins. So where does Sammy fit in all this? Because he's a big possession receiver. He can have home run playability. He's probably going to be a big red zone guy for them. So this is an interesting offense for me. Pat Mahomes running it with Kareem Hunt, Travis Kelce, Tyreek Hill, and Sammy Watkins, with the brilliant mind of Andy Reid, who's always been a perennial offensive, really good offensive coordinator, always spicing it up in that way. So I'm very interested to see what Reid does with Mahomes, because Mahomes has a huge arm. He can really sling it. He can really throw the ball deep. So we're going to see more of a deep presence, because with Alex Smith, you saw a more standard intermediate routes and a lot of dinks and dunks and not really taking shots deep. So we're going to see firsthand what Kansas City is made of. Week 1, they're going to play San Diego. But I like Andy Reid, because a lot of people are, I wouldn't say writing them off, but I think a lot of people are sleeping on the Kansas City Chiefs this year. So I'm going to go Coach of the Year with Andy Reid. They also have the 13th easiest schedule in the NFL this year. Eric Berry, Justin Houston, they still have some good pieces defensively. So I like the Chiefs this year. Make sure to watch out for them. Andy Reid, this is a big year for him, because you don't have a quarterback that really people believe in and people know about. So you're going to have a lot of proving to do with Pat Mahomes. We'll see what he does, but I like Andy Reid for Coach of the Year this year. Let's move on. Let's go to Defensive Rookie of the Year. Like I said, I don't want to go with the mainstream guys, so I'm going to take a guy that is playing for Miami, first-round pick from Alabama, Minkah Fitzpatrick, okay? He's been playing safety and slot corner in that nickel package this preseason. He's impressed. I think he's the smartest rookie defender in the NFL right now. Nick Saban said it. He was by far the smartest guy, football IQ-wise, that he's ever coached. And Minkah has that big play ability. He has the ability to create fumbles, create turnovers. He's got that X factor to him that can really change that Miami defense. And Miami's one of those interesting teams this year. You have Ryan Tannehill coming back. You have pieces on that team that maybe, just maybe, can compete in that AFC East, because you don't know what you're getting from the Jets and Bills. You know what you're getting with the Patriots. I know a lot of people are down on the Patriots this year, but this is a team that could surprise some people, and I like First of all, I love the pick that they made with Minkah Fitzpatrick. He's one of those leaders. You look around the great defenses, a lot of them have really good free safeties. The Earl Thomases, the Harrison Smiths, those guys really lead the way. Minkah has the opportunity to do that at such a young age because he's so advanced mentally and even physically. I mean, this is a kid, he actually is from my hometown in Old Bridge, New Jersey. He didn't go to the high school. He went to St. Peter's Prep in Jersey City, but this kid has worked his whole life for this, and I can totally see him making an immediate impact for that Miami Dolphins defense. You're going to have some interception-prone guys, Josh Allen, Nathan Peterman, whoever you want to start there, known for being erratic, and also Sam Darnold, who has, a turnover problem what people labeled him as coming into the pros. We'll see what he's doing now, but you've got a couple guys that can turn it over, so we'll keep an eye out for Minkah. That's my defensive rookie of the year for this year. I like him. I think he can make an impact early, so I'm going to go with Minkah. Let's stay in the rookie category. I want to go with NFL rookie of the year. Everyone's sold on Saquon Barkley. I'm not. He tweaked his hamstring. I'm not reading too much into that, but if you're already getting injuries and you played a couple snaps, or I think he did it in practice, you didn't even get hit yet. You're already coming down with injuries. So that's one way to derail a career, getting injuries early. I like Sam Darnold. First of all, the Jets made the 100% right decision by starting him. Don't waste your time and start Josh McCown. As soon as you saw Sam Darnold's first game, you knew he could start. You knew it. That's why you traded Teddy Bridgewater. It was trade bait. First of all, Teddy was trade bait. I know a lot of people wanted Bridgewater to start week 1, but this is your future. Sam Darnold is going to be the guy for the next, hopefully, 10 to 15 years. And I think he's going to come on here. I think the Jets are going to surprise some people also. The Jets have a underrated defense. Jamal Adams. They've got a lot of pieces to that defense. And then offensively, very interesting. You're going to have guys like Terrell Pryor, Robbie Anderson, Quincy Onukwa. You're going to have some pieces for Sam Darnold to work with offensively. And I look around for rookies and offensively. Who are we sold on? Are you sold on Sony Michel? Are you sold on, is Josh Rosen going to play this year? Baker Mayfield, he's probably not going to play as much. Sam Darnold's going to be the guy. Listen, I don't want to be mainstream. It would have been mainstream for me to say Saquon Barkley. Because that's mainstream. I'm not going to do that. I truly believe that Sam Darnold can win this. I think the Jets are going to win more games than the Giants. I'll be completely honest with you. I think the Jets are an 8-8, 9-7 team. I think the Giants are 6-10, 7-9 at best. I'm just being honest. Giants have an insanely tough schedule. So before you hop on the Saquon Barkley train, look at who they're playing. Let's move on here. Defensive Player of the Year. I've got two guys. This is a little more mainstream. Here you go. Khalil Mack or Aaron Donald. Both guys dominate defensively. They're unbelievable talents. Physically, when Khalil Mack got traded to the Bears, my heart stopped a little for Kirk Cousins. And I'm sure Packer fans feel the same way, and I'm sure Lion fans feel the same way as well. Khalil Mack is a game changer. Let's just be honest here. He's the best linebacker in the league. And then you have Aaron Donald. Just signed the big contract with the Rams. He can obviously impact the game tremendously. He's a big run stopper. He can sack the quarterback. He is a unreal specimen. You see, freaks in the league. Aaron Donald and Khalil Mack. Can you name two other players that are as big and as talented for their size than those two? I can't. So those are my two picks. I think one of them are going to win this. I had to take two here because they're so neck and neck to me. So Khalil Mack or Aaron Donald for Defensive Player of the Year. NFL Comeback Player of the Year, there's a lot of guys. J.J. Watt, Odell Beckham, but I think ultimately you got to go with Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is going to come back. You got to expect him to be on his A game. He's coming off a year where he got hurt. Packers missed the playoffs. Doesn't happen often. And he just signed that big contract. So there's no more questions on where Rodgers is going to be. He's going to be in the NFC North for the next few years until he retires. But I think Rodgers is going to come back. And he's going to be scary. There's going to be some moments here where you're going to see Aaron Rodgers and be like, dang, man. Yep, he's back. And that's going to happen early, I think. Week 1 against the Bears, tough defense, but I think Aaron Rodgers is going to light him up. Not for a ton of points, but I think you're going to see the old Rodgers that we saw last year or before he got hurt. So I like Aaron Rodgers winning NFL comeback player of the year. Let's switch to NFL MVP. Okay. This one, I didn't want it. Like I said, I don't want to take the Bradys. I don't want to take the Rodgers. This is going to be tough for me to say after Thursday's game, but I think that Matt Ryan is going to be my pick this year. I know he had a rough game. I get it. I know he had a rough game. But that offense, we didn't see it on total display, but I think the offense has tremendous potential to be the best in the league. I mean, you saw it yesterday. You saw glimpses of it. It felt more of like a preseason game for me because, in preseason you see glimpses of, man, wow, this is going to be good this year. You saw that in the Falcons offense, I think. Devontae Freeman is going to be the guy that carries the load, but then Tevon Coleman is another guy out of Indiana that can come in and affect the game tremendously. I mean, he can come in and he can catch a screen pass and go for 40 yards. He has that big playability. You see what Julio Jones did yesterday. No one can cover him. No one can cover him. And I don't know what the Falcons are doing when they're in the red zone. There's no way. Just use Julio Jones as a decoy at least. You take him out, it's an obvious run. So I don't know what's going on with the coaching there. And then you have Calvin Ridley, their rookie from Bama. He's going to come on. He's going to make an impact. And then Mohamed Sanu has been consistent the last few years. This is a top-tier offense in the league. We didn't see it Thursday. I understand that. But I'm going to go with Matt Ryan winning an NFL MVP this year. This would be his second. He won it, I think, 2 years ago. But I like Matt Ryan this year. This is a big year for him. He doesn't have the greatest defense. He has an okay defense. I think good defense is proper for me to say here. But the offense is scary. They have a lot of pieces to this team, and they have a pretty good offensive line. So I'm keeping an eye on Matt Ryan here for winning NFL MVP. Now, division-wise, let's go through them real quick. I'll tell you who my favorites are. We'll begin in the NFC. NFC East, I don't think there's much of a debate. I know that Nick Foles is going to start for the first, I think they said 6 weeks because Wentz is out. I knew, first of all, people that thought that Carson Wentz was going to come back week one and light it up and be like the same player he was before, come on. He tore his ACL very late in the year. You didn't expect him to come back and be the Carson Wentz we saw last year that quick. And he comes out, listen, they come out with, he's not going to be back for 6 weeks, so it's going to be a big gut check time for Philly and see what they can do. Nick Foles taking that starting position, and he hasn't been the most successful starter for teams. I mean, outside the Eagles, with the Eagles, he's unbelievable record-wise, but outside of that, he isn't very good record-wise, so it's a big test for Philly for Nick Foles and that team. I just don't see Dallas. I don't want to say compete. I could see them competing, but I just can't see them getting over the hump. I don't think they have the offensive weapons. More specifically at the wide receiver position, you lose Dez, you lose Jason Witten, and then defensively, they're okay. I mean, they don't wow me. I know Zeke's going to have a big year. Dak's going to have a big year. He was okay last year. Dak relies on Zeke. We all know that. So he's going to get him back. Hopefully Zeke stays healthy so we can see him and what he can do with that team. The Giants, I already told you I'm not high on. I know a lot of people are really high on the Giants, Super Bowl or bust. I think you're crazy if you say that. Eli Manning's 37 years old. I just don't believe that the Giants can compete with the Eagles right now. And then you have the Washington Redskins, another weird team. Got rid of Kirk Cousins. They're happy with Alex Smith. We'll see what he's able to do there in that offense with Jay Gruden. But for the most part, I like Philly in this division. I know a lot of people do. It's a mainstream pick, I understand, but I'm going to go with Philly. NFC North, you already know who I'm riding with. Vikes are going to win that division by a game or two. Philly, Green Bay is going to be right behind them. Okay, Green Bay is going to be right behind them. And then a team I'm looking out on is the Detroit Lions because they've always been on the cusp of being maybe a fringe playoff team, but it never seems to come to fruition. I think Stafford is in for a big year this year. They have two really good wide receivers, really good duo in Golden Tate and Marvin Jones. Their defensive, secondary is pretty good. They got Darius Slay. They've got some guys that can play. Ziggy Ansah. So keep an eye on them. And then the Bears are intriguing. I mean, they got the good defense, but can Mitchell Trubisky continue to grow? And I don't know if he can. I don't know if he has the weapons. Jordan Howard's a very good running back. You're going to see Matt Nagy try to spice things up with that offense. So I don't think it's it's probably the best division in the NFL right now after the Khalil Mack adding. I mean, you have 4